Good morning and namaste, everyone. This is Sarmila, SMD from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And it is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Teresa Kung. Her name is, she was a neuroscience PhD, research science in a major pharmaceutical company. And she joined March 2024, March 14. She became full-time 2016, and she became senior marketing director 2017. And in October 2018, she was able to recognized as 100K ring earner. And in February 2021, again, she hit 250K ring. And in August 2023, she was recognized as 1 million star builder. And now her cash flow is 350K and Hawaii qualifier for 2024. So please join me welcoming Teresa and let's learn from her experience. And please make sure everybody is muted while presentation is going on. And also we would have question answer session if time permits. So thank you so much, Teresa, for coming here and being here with us and giving us your very valuable time to teach us. And we are all very so excited to learn from you, and we are also eager. So thank you so much again. And without delay, I would like to I would like you to go ahead and start, and the floor is yours. Thank you so much again.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Udo, for inviting me. And I'm very happy to be here today. So let me arrange my desktop and I'll project my computer, okay? So let's see. I know that we're going to talk about IUL today. Do we have, before I start, I want to hear from all of you. You can type in a chat box or speak up if you want. Leave me a text message in between if that's convenient for you.
We're gonna talk because chat is disabled, Teresa.
Oh, really? Chat is disabled?
Yes.
Oh,
We are so special. That's why chat is disabled.
okay. So no problem. So anyone wanted to ask questions? So like any questions you may have from, I want to know how you're feeling about IUL. What is the purpose that you're buying? How many of you actually here own an IUL, and why do you buy it? Can I maybe let me ask a few questions for those who actually opened your camera, because then I can talk to you. How about, let's see, I'll just pick anybody, okay? How about Shamila, since you introduced me, right? So let's start with that. Shamila, why do you buy IUL?
In the beginning, I really did not know much about IUL, but then when I was explained to me about, how important it is to protect your family, that's why I actually bought. Also I was very eager to do the business. So I just thought about let's do it and start and where it takes me, and then I will just find out, That's how I started.
Okay.
Thank you.
And so from the beginning, you purchased until now, did you change ideas about IUL?
Of course, yeah. In the beginning, I did not know. That's why I just bought, what I can offer. That time I thought about, and then later I figured it out. Why did not I buy the bigger one, so I can put more money there? And then that's how I was able to buy the second one again. I do have from Transmedica and Nationwide, but I'm very happy and very satisfied. And now I am trying to, educate other people so they can have, family protection and at the same time wealth building part.
Okay. Okay, very good. So there is a process.
It is.
There is a process. I understand. So how about let's see. Rajin Minas, Rajin sorry about your name, Rajin.
Ranju Shrestha. Ranju
Is that
Shrestha.
okay?
Ranju
From
Shrestha,
Minnesota.
Yeah.
From Minnesota.
Mm.
Okay. How about you?
That's thank you for the question. The same thing like Sarmila says, like the beginning, I didn't know anything about the insurance.
Mhm.
I mean, we just got from work. Yeah, we have from work. I didn't know, and since I started in this business, and my mentor taught me, and going through everything, and I really like about the all the features from the IUL,
Mhm.
and oh wow, if I invest the money over here, I can protect my family as well as myself. So that's what I thought out. And the like the same thing the Sarmila says like I didn't know how much I put. Oh, I need to check my cost, everything, and I buy the small amount. Now I'm learning more and more. Oh, I'm regretting why I buy the small amount. What I say is like I'm
Mhm.
going to maybe I'm thinking in the future for protect all my family and so as my friends, everybody. That's
Mm.
how I started. Thank you.
Okay, very good. So, how long does it take the two of you figure that out from the beginning until you
Uh,
get second or third or policies? Like, how long does it take you?
I've I was in this business since last June,
Okay.
and I bought IOL in August. So I'm thinking protecting my family. Since I got my license, why not? I'll definitely protect my family.
Okay, then
Yes.
when you purchase, so like Shamila, you purchase your second policy, and after like how long does it take for you to figure that out? I need to have more for wealth accumulation.
It's like because I was also learning, since once I got licensed, I immediately, decided myself and my family. I do have all the protection for my family, my kids, my husband, and myself too. So it did not take that long, but because I was very, very eager to learn about this product, and so I can move forward on the business.
Very good. So, for many of you, what are similar stories like Shamila and Ranji? I have the same story too. Okay, so I started out with $350 a month. That's all I can afford, and then later on, I realized, I need to save more. And at that time, I only have one income, which is my husband's income. Okay, so at that time, I probably like many of you, you only have one income in the family, and we just got a house. So basically, um, we don't have extra money. When my mentor came in to sit down with us in the kitchen table, that table was from graduate school. Like I don't have money to buy a nice fancy table. I don't even have curtains. I don't even have curtains in my home. That was at that time. You see, I didn't have a job because my husband moved to Connecticut, and I give up my job in California. And all this, I have one sister who lived with us 17 years apart from me, and she's going to college soon, and I have to be responsible for her college spending. So it and my own son, don't forget my own son, right? I have my son is 4-year-old at the time. Now he's 13-year-old. So I have later on, because of this business, I was having a I decided to full time quit my job in 2016 and then become full time. And after that, I was able to have a second children, a second son. And so it's all because that I have a solid family foundation, so that not just in the protection part, also in the wealth accumulation and tax saving, and the knowledge that I learned through this platform with the business concept that the more I put in, the more return I would have. So I hard work, right? So I wanted to share you the story of every family that it started with something small, but it's really because at that time we have not really know the complete story behind IUL. One is we can only take on so much of information. How many of you, I think many part of you, some of you are here are really new, right? If you're like joined within the last 6 months, can you have a thumbs up? Joined within 6 months, thumbs up, please. Everybody after a year, after 6 months? 1, 2. Join within 6 months, thumbs up. Okay, so we have some new people, right? So many of you are new, and you might not have enough time to, or the idea of how IUL work, just by some training, sometimes you forgot. You know, there's like repetition is not there, so it will forget. Okay, so again, I will give you some idea tonight, like today, how does it work, and then, but you have to really repeat. When you repeat those concepts, and you really get into your brain. Okay, then also try to talk to your colleague or your husband, your wife, your children, you know, say that mommy wanted to do a presentation and give me 10 minutes. Let me explain this concept to you. All right, can you all do that? Try that, right? If you don't have a husband or wife or any adult or any children in your house, talk to your dog, your cat, or turtles. Okay. I don't know who you're gonna talk to, but I talk to my turtle sometimes. Okay, so before I started out with the only pet in my house is a turtle. So I actually talk to my turtles and just make sure that, you know, I am able to speak and listen to myself when I speak. Okay, so when you actually do that, you can you can repeat the information again. Okay, and so you will the information will stick in your head. People always say that I'm so, you know, some people, not me, but many people actually say that I'm very smart. I listen once and I will know it, and I will go talk to people. Okay, it happens. But when we really talk to people, our logic, the sentence is not connecting. We're jumping from places to places, and people will get confused when we do that. Okay, so because I'm so smart, I can jump from places to places, but your receiving end, it does not receive that way. Okay, so that's why, even though you are very smart, I give you, you know, a round of applause and thumbs up, 2 thumbs up, but it does not mean when we speak, when you do these information delivery, you want to make sure that the other person can hear it, really understands it, not just nodding the head, being polite. All right. So IUL have 3 sets of functions that I really I would love to spend time on it. But we don't have time for all of it. So we will see how it goes. Let me give you an idea first on this slide. I want to set up the tone for why we are buying IUL. Even if you say how good is IUL and everything, sometimes people will say, well, why do I need it? You know, I don't need it. My family have all the account that's out there. I know the bank, I know the investment system, I know I'm very good at stock. You know, I get my return from there. So why am I needing IUL? So this slide become very important. It will be a beginning talk to any families. Okay, so when you have accounts, bank account, when you have a house, when you have 401k, when you have stock and mutual fund, Roth 529, even if you know everything, you own everything, they're not going to do everything at once. They, out of the 4, lose money, growth, tax saving, and flexibility. None of these accounts actually do all you ask for. Only IUL will do it. Only IUL will do it. You want to make sure that people recognize that before you start IUL. You want people recognize this before you start IUL. If not sure, you have to explain each. If not sure, oh, why I thought Roth is a very good account. I should have Roth. Yes, you do. You do need Roth. But can you really own a Roth? And is Roth really flexible? Do we know the law for Roth? Right? Are we clear on that? What kind of risk Roth involved? It's just like your 401k. So if you have the same risk category, do you want to put all of your money in the same risk category? Maybe not, right? Maybe I should diversify. Based on these 4 choices, these 4 needs in the family, you want to have one or multiple accounts that take care of all 4. What if my life is so busy? Who says my life is easy? No one, right? Who have an easy life? That, oh, I'm so, my life is so easy. I can manage all the accounts I have and never miss any, never miss a high in the market, never, never miss the opportunity to invest. Can anyone say that? Maybe not, right? So what if I have a portion of money, not much, but a portion of it, start with IUL that has all 4 of it. Never lose money. It has protection growth. There's tax saving and there's flexibility. On top of that is a life insurance. It protects families. So many people will actually consider it if you lay out the accounts in front of them and say, hey, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. I don't have IUL. Then I will ask them the question. So, right, Shamila, right? When I ask you this question, right, I was like, well, okay, so what do you have the bank, you have house, 401k, I think we talked about all the accounts. The only thing you have not mentioned that you have is IUL. Are you familiar with IUL? So, well, this is the time that you can introduce the idea because you have paved the road. Okay, the concept of IUL is not hard. The hardest thing is for people to listen. I think many producers here will agree with me. It's not how many benefits IUL have. It's not how clear you can present. It's how people will listen to you. Okay, so you want to make sure you have IUL listed out as one of the tools that got answers for all these 4. Okay, now I'll skip this slide. Everybody knows that slide. The 3 things about IUL that you really need to know: how do they calculate return and a floor? 2, cost. What is the cost of the IUL? Is cost really relevant? And how do we take care of the cost? How have we thought about the cost, right? Flexible use. How do I use it? All right. So out of the 3, which one is most important to Shamila?
For me, returns and floor and flexible use. I did not really know about cost, and also I did not care about it. Everything will have cost. I knew that.
Okay, very good. So you have a concept that, oh, when I first see the IUL, I want to know return and the floor and how to use it. And I understand cost that is there. And I would not drill too much on the cost, right? Okay, so that's Shamila. How about Ranju? When you first look at IUL, which of the 3, out of the 3, which is more important to you?
For me, like the Of course, we need to know about the cost. If you cannot afford, how you're gonna buy and return and floor as well.
Okay, so worry about if I can afford it.
Yes.
I can afford it. Okay. Let's try another one. How about Raj Mahajan? How about you?
I would say all three of those are important for me. The returns and floor, the cost, as well as the flexibility of use. Because I would definitely be a little bit wary about the cost as well as the so there's good returns and floor, and the flexibility of use is most important as well.
Okay. Many people have different concern. Okay. So when you start, you want to make sure that you ask the prospect, what do they concern the most? And want to make sure that you focus on that. Make sure you solve that problem first. All right. So people do understand there's a cost, but they want to know if the cost is gonna bankrupt them, right? Can I afford it? People confuse. I think I can definitely focus on the cost. Today, I have many of you went to NYKO, right? You were in Maryland. Oh, sorry, in Daytona Beach, right? You're in Daytona Beach.
Yes.
You probably you saw my presentation, and the cost part, you have to blend into your sales flow. And I usually only, depending on situation, there is a broad way of solving this problem, and there's a detailed way of doing it. And I'm going to give you the bigger vision of it and see if you can solve that first before you go into the detail. You don't want to give your client too many details and they get confused and they stop listening because too much information. So give them a big scale of solution first. And if they can understand it and they are really technical, there must be a lot of IT people in here, right? You want to know more and you're not satisfied, but you already have some answers in mind, so you're willing to listen. Okay, so let me start with the idea of cost for now. Hold on. Let me jump to that slide. All right, let me jump to this slide. How many of you actually have a house? Thumbs up if you do own a house. Yeah, some of you do. You buy a house. Why do you buy a house? Anyone can share why do you want to buy a house?
Yes, sir.
Major-
Good morning, Teresa. This is Sri Ramlital from Colorado, Senior Marketing Director. I bought a house for permanency. Like, I don't want to stay in that temporary apartment.
Not temporary apartment. Very good. So, buying a term is like buying an apartment.
That's right.
A house is like buying an IUL. So if you can buy a house, if you buy in the idea of buying a house, you will buy an IUL. Right? You will want to have one. So that's how I will tell the client. I say, well, do you own a house? Oh, yeah, I do. How many houses do you have? And that's a joke question. Right after that, you have so many houses. Oh my God, that's great. So you like house, you will like IUL. I promise you. Right? So you see, when the cost on cost in a house is similar to the cost in the IUL. Okay, we will see it later. So this picture shows you that there's the red bar are the annual cost. The red bar are the annual cost, and the bars are decreasing. The bars are decreasing. The green bar is increasing. The green bar is the annual gain out of the IUL. So every year, the gain is compounding. But then the red bar is heavily involved in the first 10 years. So it's just like buying a house. There you go. So when you are in the long run, when we put it in the long run, the cost, the red bar, have decreased dramatically after the 10th year. And it will decrease all the way down to minimum compared to the green bar. Compared to the green bar. Why is that?
Compounding interest.
It's just like the house. When you buy the house, the mortgage at the beginning eat up most of the money you in the house, right? Basically, the mortgage itself have a lot of you pay for the mortgage and you have big portion of it going to the interest of the mortgage. Less goes to the equity. All right. So when we pay this, even though we pay the same amount of money, mortgage every single month, the portion that goes to the mortgage interest itself is a lot higher in the beginning. And then later, the equity started to compounding and then it become your house. 30 years later, I finished my loan for the house. The house is mine. However, think about this. I now own the house 30 years later. What happened? My kids grow up. I may have to sell the house and start all over again, isn't it? How many houses can I have in my life? Interesting question, right? So intrigue them to ask the question. Intrigue them. Make them understand that, buying a house is really no difference in buying an IUL. If you're willing to invest in a house, you will be more willing to invest in an invisible house. The invisible house will with you all the time. Doesn't matter where you go. Doesn't matter how old your kids are. Doesn't matter where you will be in the future, in retirement. You're gonna use your invisible house as cash. However, your visible house, how do I take money out of it? If I need emergency fund for maybe a car wreck, right? I ran into a car accident. I'm waiting for my insurance to kick in. So I need $20,000 to get a new car. Where can I get a new car? Where can I come out with the money? Can I sell a bathroom? Can I sell a kitchen? Can I really quickly rent out one of my guest room so I can get $20,000 cash? No, it's very hard. Even if I can do second mortgage, right? I can go pull my house, go through the second mortgage again and see how much money I can get. It takes time. It takes, you may not get approval. Okay, so here is the thing. If I can have an invisible house and I need the money anytime I want, at the beginning, I do have to pay the cost, just like how I pay the house. But down the road, I can take money out anytime I wish. I want, doesn't matter the reason. Down the road, when I have enough cash value accumulated, just like the equity accumulated in a house, I can take it out without notifying anybody, without going through a bank loan, without anyone saying you are approved or not. Is this my money? Will you want that? And be careful, all the money in your house, if you take money out, right? Your house basically reduce the value. And IUL, you still have a protection. Okay, you don't need to sell to anybody. The IUL is there. And when I take money out from IUL, tax-free, the gain on IUL is tax-free. If on the house, the gain on the house, taxable. So that green bar actually is a compounding interest. Also, remember, I save on taxes, so the tax saving is exponentially grow as well. The cost is always linear, but the interest is compounding. Tax saving is exponential. People who are good in math, you will know immediately what that means, right? So basically, after this slide, I don't need to say more about cost. So everything has a cost. Like Shamila said, yes, everything has a cost. Now, no one is for free. Visible cost is easy. It's easy to deal with. If IT people, technical guy, you wanted to explore the detail of the fee and expenses, I can share with you. No problem. But what I cannot share with you is the invisible cost that you have. I don't see it. How much tax you pay? What's the risk you experience in the market? People say, I'm so good, I can guarantee outbid return. Have anyone heard that before? Sharem, right? I am very, I am still young. I can risk the market. It's
Yep.
okay. My age, I can risk the market. Because I think I am best. I do option, I do hedging, I do mutual fund, I do stock, I do I can do anything. And you know what? Because I'm still young. Yes, those are the costs I cannot calculate for you. And if you want to compare cost, what are you comparing to? Expensive. Compared to what? And I'm sorry, I just cannot give you a column for that. I cannot give you an Excel sheet for the tax you're paying, for the risk you're paying, the time you're paying, and the wrong decision that you're making. And there's nothing I can do for that, but I can show you the visible cost. Are we okay with that? And most likely, people at that time will stop asking and then start to think the benefit of this IUL now. All right. Questions? Any questions?
Yes, question is, I have a client is asking me if I put the 1,000 in IUL and I'm going to buy a house, and it will be problem for the loan or not?
The loan for the house?
I'm going to put in 1,000 IUL.
1,000.
IUL, that will be problem for the future loan or not?
Okay, so he wants to buy a house, and
Yes.
he doesn't know if he started an IUL $1,000 a month, would that affect his loan approval?
Yes.
Okay. What do you guys think? Anyone can answer his question?
Sure. I don't think it will impact the loan approval. It will actually add up because a lot of loan processors or the bankers, they are worried about if they cannot get the payment or something. But if they are saying that, okay, they already have the insurance, life insurance, it will actually add the benefits for it.
Okay, that's an answer. Anybody else has another answer for that? Yeah.
Teresa, I don't think there will be any problem because it will not be shown in our any credit history, okay? Because we are not taking loan. It's our money. We are just getting our money just in terms of loan. It's actually not like we are going in the bank and getting money from there. It's our money. There will be nothing in our credit history or any record of that. So it will not affect anything in taking any personal loan.
Okay.
But I think we need to concern a little bit about their income versus expense ratio, though. You know, it really depends like how much they make it. They make the income and how much they are applying for. You know, that we need to consider a little bit.
Okay.
And
So
some of the banks accept the life insurance certificate as a collateral. So it does not.
What? Oh, something
Tara
happened.
sir, mute में हुनुभयो.
Okay,
Some
he's
of the
saying
bank
that
will accept the life insurance certificate as a collateral.
Correct.
That means it
purpose,
does
on the
not
loan
have
purpose.
any negative impact to borrow money from the bank. One of my client has purchased a term life insurance to collateral with the bank to get a loan. So life insurance certificate is a kind of very secure collateral document to borrow money from the bank.
Okay, very good. Very good answers, you guys. You know, to answer that questions, I give you my personal story. I have 2021, I bought house in the Massachusetts because we move. So when we move, we need to buy a new house and then get a big loan. It's a jumbo loan. Okay. And so most my money is in IUL. You know, that time I'm already, 7 years into the business and I have 10 IUL in my hand already. Every month I'm putting in more than $3,000 to $4,000 a month into the IUL. Okay. So I am saving a lot in the IUL and it has no impact on my loan. It has there are other things that could have impact on my loan to the house, but is not because of IUL. And in fact, we have given the loan officer, the loan officer was wondering where were my money. They were wondering where was my money because it's not in a bank. It was not in a bank. And I don't have a lot of cash in my bank. And the loan officer said, based on your income, your husband and both husband and wife income, you should have a lot more access, right? I said, yes, you're right. It's just not in a bank, and it's not in any brokerage account. And so the loan officer get really curious, right? So I told the loan officer I use IUL, and explain that to the loan officer, so they understand that there is cash value. So immediately they say, okay, no problem. We know where your money is. That's good, and we get your loan, right? So it's not a problem. But you do have to do some explanation if they question you. Where is your money? And big chunk of my money is not in a bank. So
my question is, if I open today IUL, after 5-6 months, I'm going to buy a house. And apply the loan officer watch the account, how much money coming in and how much money going out. That time my loan will approve or not. Because my 1,000 money going out.
Ramji, it depends on your source of income. If you are
Yeah.
ready to pay you have a big income, if you are ready to pay the mortgage and your life insurance, they don't bother you. But your income is low, but you are going to buy a house and there is a money not enough to pay the mortgage. That's why bank comes. Banks are much more concerned about your IUL, but they are concerned they protect their loan. That's why if your income is okay, there is no problem.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The only problem that they would ask you is your income steady? And 1099, it does not consider to be a steady income. Just so you know, 1099 is not considered as a steady income. W-2 is. So the only thing they will be at that time, they gave me problem because majority of our income combined is 1099, right? My husband's income is W-2, but it's less than my income. So in that situation, right, the 1099 is unstable. Okay, so that's how they would treat it. Just so you have a preparation when you face that. If you have a good 1099 income, but W-2 is smaller than the 1099, then that would be an issue. All right. So 3 things about IUL that we talked about cost. So that is the big nutshell about how I will explain cost. And after that, if they still have problem, I will give them the thorough detail when I run illustration. I will not give them right now. Usually I will give them introductory of IUL. And then if they are interested and start running for illustration, then they will really go to the columns of each columns and explain. You know, I would then, if they ask, I will explain the details of each column. All right. So now, after the cost, most people are interested in how to use it. When you use the IUL, there's so many, there's no reason to stop you using it. Actually, you should use it. You should use it. If you have putting money in there, make sure that you fund. If you want to use this account, in the first maybe 5 years, you want to make sure you fund a little bit more than your target premium. And remember, on the first year, you cannot loan out. First year, you cannot loan out. And not all cash value can be loaned out. Okay? Now, the idea is, in the United States, everything that you borrow is tax-free. Your mortgage is tax-free. Your car loan is tax-free. Your credit card loan is tax-free. Anyone pay tax on those? No. So people borrow loan from life insurance company tax-free. It's legal. Now, let's say I have $200,000 cash value in the insurance company. Why would insurance company loan money to me? Why would anyone loan money to you for a house? Because the house has value. And if something goes wrong, we cannot pay the mortgage, the bank will come and collect the house. Does that make sense? So if you have a car loan, why would the bank give you a car loan? Because you have the car as collateral. So if something happened, you cannot pay for the car, they come and collect your car. All right. Now, if I have insurance account which has $200,000 in there, insurance company is willing to loan us money because I have $200,000 as collateral. All right. So this is why insurance company is willing to loan us money. But why do I loan, and what's the benefit? What's the benefit of loaning it? I want 50,000 out of my 200,000. Insurance company said, let me loan you so it's tax-free in your hand. If you withdraw from your 200,000, that just say you have, I don't, just giving any number, right? In your 200,000, maybe 100,000, 100, let's say maybe 150 is your principal, and 50,000 is your gain. So if you would take your principal out, withdraw it, you can. But when you withdraw, you can no longer put it back. It's not refillable when you withdraw it. But when you are loaning it, you can put it back. It's refillable because it's a loan. Okay, so this account is very good. Nobody wants to withdraw it when you don't really want to deplete it. You'll withdraw it only if you want to deplete it. Okay, so it's like your 401k, your IRA. Every year, the IRS give you a certain amount of quota. You pass that year, you cannot tell the IRS said, I want my last year quota. Can you do that? Can't. Right? What is Roth right now? 7,000? Right? 7,000, depending on your age, right? And if you miss that year, you cannot say, I wanted to fulfill my last year quota. Okay, so the same thing with your loan. That loan is refillable, but withdrawal is not. So that's why you loan it. When you loan, the first 10 years is 3%. 11 year and on is 2.25, depending on the product line you're doing. Nationwide is 3.9 on the 1 to 10 year loan, 3.9. And the 11 years, it will be 3. Pacific Life is always net 2. Always net like it's always 2.5. They have different way of doing their interest. So you wanted to check on the product line that you're doing. I just assume that in the first 1 to 10 years you are 3%. After 11 years, it is 2.25 based on, let's say, I would usually say this is a loyalty. You are a loyal customer after 10 years. So insurance companies drop your rate. Okay. So now, because I borrow 50,000, insurance company go to my cash value to collateral on the 50,000 I have. They collateral on it and give me a 2.25% interest credit. It's a credit. So when I net the loan, it's actually 0.75. When I net the loan in the first 10 years, 0.75. After 11 years, 0. Meaning I don't spend any extra dollar for this loan after 11 years. When I pay back the loan, I want to pay back the principal and the loan interest charge. At the same time, the loan reserve collateral pay me back 1,125. Therefore, 375 is my total loan cost. Now, give you an example. 2017, my client have opened this account, 2017 issue date, 2017 November, and she borrowed the money in 2020 April. It's in the middle of pandemic. She wants to fix up her house and sell it. So she borrowed 13,000. She quickly sold the house in July. She returned the 13,000 plus 113.28. That's her interest charge. On the same day, insurance company credit her $87. $87.43, and net $25. From April to July, she used $25.85 to fix up her house and sell it. If she would borrow $13,000 from Rudolph, right? How much of a interest rate you would charge her?
36% interest.
So understanding that you are basically have your own bank account to your own loaning system to loan the money out and to utilize the money. Okay, so that's how easy it is for her. So in 2021, she loaned again. She's a very good student and somehow she likes to loan money, but she also saved money at the same time. So you see 2021, she declared another loan, $20,000. And at the same time, in November 2021, she also saved $15,000. So when she loaned, she continued to save. Right? So that's how you can utilize this policy in and out. Okay. I see someone raise your hand before. You wanna do a question?
I could have asked it later, but
Okay.
since you were in the previous slide, that's where I had a questions, and I believe that question it was raised many times in here as well. That's why I wanted to ask. Okay, so to get that interest back from the company, do we have to pay the loan back?
Good question. Do you anyone do bookkeeping before? Have you anyone is accountant and do big bookkeepings in this group? Okay, Shola is right. So when you do a bookkeeping, you have let's say I loan it and I return it, but then if I don't return it, the loan will continue to accumulate, correct?
Yes.
I will see the loan continue to accumulate on the column, the loan column. On the same time, if I don't return it, I don't see these two columns cross out. So what Nationwide does is, or any insurance company does, is they keep a column for the loan. They keep another column for your credits. Unless we pay back the money, the two columns will then cross and cancel out. Okay. If they do give you credits, I'll show you how I found out, okay? Because I loaned it. I loaned my own money out. I took money out and start the loan. And at the same time, they credit me. By the end of the year, they credit me. But the two does not cross until I complete the returning of the loan. Remember in your illustration, the cash value column, the policy value column, that's where they put the credit in. And you run an illustration. Go ahead, run an illustration. You will see, even if you take out the loan, your policy value will continue to grow. Continue to grow. Your policy value will not, because you loan, and any less. It should be less than your loan. It should be like the loan is here and your credit is here, and you will always see your credit is more than the loan. The loan is always maybe a few dollars, or $10 or $100 less. You can calculate it. It always is less than your credit, and your policy value will continue to grow, regardless if you return your money or not. So why do I know it? Because I'll show you with this one. I I got a loan for my house because I fixed up my roof. And on the day that the roofer was gone, I need to pay them $20,000 for the roof. That was May. In April, I paid off my taxes. And remember, I told you guys earlier, I don't have any cash in my bank. If you check on my bank account anytime, less than $20,000. Okay, so I don't have a lot of money in the bank. And that month in April, I paid taxes and I paid off all my taxes to the IRS. It was a lot more than I expected, so I used up my cash. So now I need to pay the roofer, so I borrow $20,000. I have nowhere to go. I cannot borrow from anyone, you know, especially Rudolph rate is too high, right? So I don't want to borrow from Rudolph. So I want to borrow from my IUL. So I do $20,000 from my IUL. Look at this, is a 2016 policy, and it's a $1 million policy. When I bought it, I was 35. Okay, and then I started to save money. I believe that policy at the beginning, I scheduled to contribute $800 a month, and then later on, I sometimes I do more, sometimes I do less, but altogether, I have about 63,000 cash value right here. Can you see it? 63. So I have 63,000 in cash value. I borrow about 20,000. And I see the loan was generated May 3rd, 2022. And you see that this is snapshot from the online information, right? On loan interest charge, they charge me $4.19. Sorry. Where did it go? There, $4.19. And then they give me 3.24 in credits. It was only a few days later. So you see my my issue day is May 5th. I loan on May 3rd. I didn't return the money at all. So answer your question earlier. If you don't return the money, will you still get a credit? You see, do I get a credit? $3.24. Okay. If you're not sure, you can go and loan out on your own IUL. Go ahead, try it. Okay. You see, because of statement anniversary date is on May 5th. How can I return the money by May 5th? No way, right? So what happened here? Right? Shamila from Connecticut, right? What happened here? I loan, I got a $4.19 of charge at the same time bookkeeping, Shola, right? They give me a 3.24, right, Shola? Now, is it really tallied into a net yet? Not quite, because I have not returned the money. I started to return the money in November. So it still gives me, I kind of, there's a loan credit again and a loan charge again. And then I finally returned all the money in April 2023. So 11 months. 11 months after, I pay the remaining of the loan with all the interest that's supposed to be in place. So this is my calculation. You see, the loan interest charge from the first one, 4.19, 415 and 23, and then the last one is 175, and added together is 594 and 52. Do you see this? 594 and 52. You see that? In here? So I pay back the interest. They give me back the credit. $458.32. So net is $136.20. Now, if you calculate this, my loan is less than 0.9% because I loan partially return. I loan it, but my partially return, so that the loan total is less than a year. So all the together about 0.68%. This is a better deal than Wudorf deal, right? I
Very
would,
good deal. Very
Very
good deal, Teresa. It's not a little bit. It's way big deal.
yeah. So see, no one want to borrow money from Wudorf. All right. Do you now want to borrow money from your IUL?
Yes,
Anyone?
sure. Teresa, I have one question. Do we take out the loan from cash value or we take out the loan from surrender value? Can you clear about that for me, please?
Okay. So do I take out the? Let me make it clear. So your question is, do I take out the loan from my cash value or from my death benefit?
From my surrender value.
Surrender.
Value. Yes.
Okay. So you know what? You cannot take too much in the beginning, right? So you have to look at the available loan that is available for you. Okay, so when you take out the money, you want to see how much surrender value you have. You want to see how much surrender value. If you are in the first few years, you probably have nothing unless you 7-paid it. Okay, or 1035. I have some clients when they 1035 their previous account, they have quite a bit of cash value immediately. So if you have surrender value that is in a good term, right? Then yes, it's better that way. You don't want to have you don't want to overloan it, and you cannot overloan it anyway, because when you go to you try it, go to Nationwide and ask how much can I loan out, they will tell you a value. They will tell you a value, and in Transamerica is on the website. Transamerica, if you go to premier.transamerica.com and log in, and you will see your loan available amount. It's right there. Okay. So if you are confused of how much money you can loan it out, if you go back to your illustration, it may not be accurate because the market value changes every month, right? So you probably cannot figure it out just from your illustration. So go to your online account, check how much value you can take out, the maximum. And of course, I would recommend that if you are doing less than target premium, if you're doing less than your target premium, you will not able to withdraw so early. You will not be able to loan out so early. Okay. You see, I waited for 6 years. 6 years. So 2016, the policy opened, and I took out money in 2022, right? So I waited about 6 years. And at the beginning, I only target funded. So I target fund like $800 a month for this policy. And this policy, because I utilize as a long-term care policy, so I have 10 policies in my household, and I pick this one to take out. Because one, it has reasonable growth, and two, I utilize it for long-term care purposes, and I figured that I'm still pretty young. The chances me getting long-term care right now is a little bit, it's less, right? So I can take money out from here. Instead, I take out from here instead. I don't want to touch my Transamerica because it's growing, and the cap is higher. So I intentionally, a little trick for you guys. If you want to borrow money out from your policy, please put some extra money in your basic interest account. Put some extra money in your, in Transamerica will be your basic interest. In Nationwide will be your fixed account. Put a little bit extra in your fixed account. Here, your fixed account, right? Where is my computer is a little slow. See this statement right here? The fixed interest strategy, I have some money. Okay, you want to put some more, a little bit more in your fixed interest strategy. Right now, my fixed interest strategy always maintain about $10,000 to $15,000 in there. Just in case I need some money in there, I can immediately take it out. If you have all the money in your strategies, let's say you have 50,000 and they are all in the multi-index or in S&P. Remember, they will pull the most recent segment out. When you loan it, they will pull the most recent segment. So it's, you remember this, last in, first out. Remember, you just want to do in fixed interest strategy. Make sure you do this. You borrow money out here so you do not disturb your segment. Because when your segment is starting, you don't want to put them out in the middle. You will lose it. You will lose that segment.
Teresa, can I ask a question here? So when you gain any interest in your basic interest amount, what happens that at the end if you don't use that one? That keep increasing and you don't incur any taxes on that one, and how it works?
You mean if
in the basic interest account, if you put a lot of money and you don't use that for years, and what is the tax implication regarding that?
there is no tax implication. You are in a fixed interest account and it is within the IUL, it is tax-free.
So that keeps increasing your money within the fixed interest, and they will take the money out to pay the premium in case you don't pay the premium from out of other bank account, or in case you pause there, what happens? Does that work that way?
So if you stop premium, right? That's your question. If I stop premium, what happened to my cash, right? Where do they get their fees?
Correct.
Okay. I want to write this down for you. Cost of insurance. Okay, so we are talking about two different things. One is cost of insurance and fees. And another one is premium. They are not the same. They are not the same. Okay, so the cost of insurance is not your premium. Your premium can be, let's say, $1,000, $2,000. You call it. You make the call. The cost of insurance is based on gender, health, face amount, right? And it's age. So it is what? It is calculated, and the cost of insurance will be deducted from your policy value if you don't pay the premium. And they will deduct it directly from your total policy value. And usually, depending on the company, depending on which company you are with, they withheld a certain amount of money. We call it, in Nationwide, we call it Mr. Visa. Anyone heard that term before? Mr. Visa?
No.
Mr. Visa. Okay. Okay. Nisha from California heard about that. Okay. Mr. Visa is called Mr. Minimum Require Fixed Interest Account. Mr. Visa. So in your illustration, in the premium summary page, you will see a number for Mr. Visa. That is the number they are withholding for you. And when you started the policy, the first 3 months, if you're doing target premium, about 3 to 4 months, you are fulfilling the Mr. Visa. After you fulfill the Mr. Visa, they started to generate a segment for you. So they withheld the cost of insurance for the year in Mr. Visa. So if this person cannot pay their premium this year, they will deduct it out from Mr. Visa for you.
I see.
And that part is your policy value as well.
So still a question remains there. What happens when they use the money you have in your fixed account? In what condition this automatically goes to the premium payment, or when do you use this money if you put in the fixed account?
Yeah, the question you are asking is really from the online account. Like if you have your online account, you could depict, you can actually see how much money is in your Mr. Visa. As long as you are above Mr. Visa, they swip the money, extra money, they swip it into the index. Does that make sense, Raja? So your Mr. Visa, let's say your Mr. Visa is 2,000. And anything beyond 2,000, on the day of 15, they swip it. They swip it into the index.
Ah, okay. So let's say if I understand in my term, if you have a certain amount more than threshold, that will be swept to the whatever, let's say the investment account, whatever you put, for example, S&P 500 or whatever you choose, they automatically transfer to there.
They will automatically transfer according to your indication. So you want to, let's say you want to do 50-50 on both of your indexes, then they would just do it automatically. Anything that beyond Mr. Visa. So
Okay.
yeah, anything beyond Mr. Visa, it will be swept.
So that applies across the companies. Well, that's the law, and company has to follow, or depends upon the companies.
The day of 15 is for Nationwide and Pacific Life. You might Transamerica, depending on when you open the policy, depending on your anniversary day. So if your anniversary date is the 3rd, it will swip on the 3rd.
Got you. Thank you.
No
Very
problem.
cool information.
So many of these questions are coming from your own usage of the insurance account. I suggest that you really go into your own login, nationwide.com. And if you don't understand that page, call Nationwide. And you can get most of the answer from Nationwide. If your regional wholesaler, they are the person who can really help you too. To be honest with you guys, my leaders didn't teach me a lot. Like they didn't teach me a lot of technical things. I learned it on my own, mostly, because I care for my own policy. And my leaders is there to help me build my team. So,
Okay. So I'm
so really,
understanding
you
here.
have to call them. Call.
I understand. Okay.
Why?
Yes, Teresa. So the dollar cost account, the way it works, I was trying to understand from that perspective and DCA part. So I
DCA.
know that you don't have to put any money in the bank since you get something there. So when do you use and how it apply? If you know that part, you don't have to put any money in your bank. So just use
Yeah.
DCA, right?
Yes.
Therefore, I'm learning how to suggest my client whether DCA works as a bank or not. The detail, once we know that, they are pretty clear what to do.
Yes, you're right, Raja. If they have DCA and they want to set up for DCA, go ahead and set it up for DCA. Then you have a long sum of money in your basic interest account. It occur interest daily.
Mm-hmm.
Occur interest daily. And since you don't need it in the bank, so why not put there? However, some people will tell me, oh, I have high interest rate in my bank, right? I have right now there's some high interest in the bank, and they willing to do monthly draft. And I told them that this is only a short period of time. You know that the bank interest does not grow that high in the past. So down the road, I just want you to know there is an option that you can put steady 3.5% or 3% of interest in the IUL fixed account.
Right.
And you can then dollar cost averaging into your index account to create 12 segments. At the same time, you have occurred interest on your basic interest account. And
Correct.
it's a good idea. However, I just to warn you, if you do all the client services so far, you might run into DCA setting up problems with either Trans or Nationwide. They have very difficult, I would say sometimes you send in the right instruction, they still do it wrong.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so just, you may be luckier than me, but I have a lot of clients that DCA wasn't set up right. The instruction went in is correct, but then it was not set up correctly. So do not assume that you put in a paperwork in and they will do it automatic for you.
I understand. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they do scoot it up. So you have to, if you send in paperwork, please double check and follow up with the providers.
Got the point. Yeah, I tried to speak a couple of times. The agents and didn't have a right answer the way I was expecting. Probably that exists some kind of confusion among the people who set up that. Maybe specific people can do that one. It's good clue. Thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately, we actually have a internal Nationwide person and to help us out for DCA. And you know what? Even that, they still do it wrong sometimes. So I just wanted to make sure that you all producers, please aware that do not assume the insurance company will do the right thing every time you told them to. They are human too. They are human who take care of the paperwork. They are not machines.
Right.
Yeah, so please be aware. They may give you wrong answer.
Thank you, Teresa.
All right, Teresa, thank you for coaching us almost 1.5 hours. So we
Yeah,
learned a lot.
Yeah,
So
so
many
we're pretty
things.
much, I think we cover a lot, right?
Yeah, so next time, definitely we're gonna invite you again. Let me know if I can help you anything in your team or my team as well. So thank you again for the great coaching and mentorship. We'll learn it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no problem. Thank you.
I salute you
Thank
at the
you.
end. I have been watching all your trainings earlier.